Bonjour mes gourmands! These past weeks, I've been so eager to present to you my recipe for one of my most favorite Vietnamese street food dishes, Bánh Xèo. It's an amazingly delicious savory crepe, and it has satisfying richness of coconut and the wonderful crispiness of, well, crisps. For this dish, you'll also want to make a fish sauce dip or nước mắm ớt. If you don't know how to make it yet, then simply check out my nước mắm ớt video. For the pancake batter, you'll need 200 grams of rice flour, 400 ml of water, 100 ml of coconut milk, and a quarter of a teaspoon of turmeric to give the pancakes that delicious and vibrant yellow color. For the topping, you'll need 350 grams of pork meat, 2 cups of peeled and deveined shrimps, which is optional, 2 onions, 3 stalks of spring onions cut into rings, 4 cups of soy sprouts, and some coriander, which is also optional. The coconut milk will add more flavor and richness to this dish, but since it's also rich in calories, I'll reduce the amount of coconut milk in this recipe. If you'd like to treat yourself to even more delicious crepe, you can change the water-coconut milk ratio to 1:1 or 1:3 according to taste. Just make sure you're using 500 ml of liquid in the end. You could even skip the coconut milk and make the pancakes with water only if you really can't get a hold of any. If you don't like using pork, then simply replace it either with chicken breast or some Shiitake mushrooms. If you're opting for the mushrooms, then I'd suggest you to boil them in hot water, let them cool down, and then slice them up into stripes. Then you can stir fry the mushroom slices with some soy sauce and some sugar. That'll give them some extra flavor. If you don't want to use the fish sauce dip, you can also use salt and pepper to season the topping to taste. So first, take your piece of meat or mushrooms and cut them into thin slices. You don't want your meat to be too thick, although otherwise it'll take too much time to get cooked. If you're not using the dip, then you can already marinate the meat in a bit of salt and pepper now. Then I'm mixing the turmeric with the rice flour. I'm doing this first to make sure the turmeric is evenly distributed within the batter. Then add the coconut milk, give it a good stir before you finally add the water and stir to combine. And that's it for the batter. Let's move on to actually making the pancakes. Cover the surface of your skillet with a generous amount of oil and heat it up on medium heat. I know this may look like a lot, but the oil really helps the pancake to get crispy, so try to not overthink it. Saute the onions first until fragrant, then add the meat. Stir fry the meat on both sides until halfway golden brown, then add the shrimps. You don't want to add the shrimps too early as they cook pretty fast. Cooking the shrimps for too long will result in super shrunken and awfully chewy shrimps, so try to avoid that. When your toppings are done, you can finally add the batter to the pan. I'm adding about 1.5 ladles of batter into the pan, which is about 75 ml. Lastly, add some spring onions and soy sprouts on top and cover it with a lid. When the bottom is crispy, you can fold the pancake into half, transfer the pancake to a serving plate, garnish it with some coriander, and bon appetit! I love a crispy texture in my food, so this dish is perfect for me. It's actually somewhat similar to the fried rice cubes dish, which is called bột chiên in Vietnam. If you like those, you'll definitely love this recipe. Even though this recipe is quite simple, I know it's still a bit of work to slice the meat into the right size and to peel and devein the shrimps. That's why I usually make a large amount of crepe and then I'd store it for a day or two in the fridge. If you use an oven to reheat the crepe, you'll be able to restore the crepe's crispy texture, which it will lose after having cooled down. Please leave me the thumbs up if you like this video, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more wonderful and weekly recipes. If you're proud of your recreation, then do send in some pictures via Twitter. I always love to hear from you. If you have any questions or suggestions, or if you just want to say hi, leave a message in the comment section down below. I hope to see you next Friday again, when I have a new recipe prepared for you. Until then, bye!